Fanatics was supposed to buy Panini this week, or at least that's what all the rumors said. But the big announcement you were expecting didn't happen. What does it mean? And is Fanatics still gonna buy Panini? And if they do, is it a good thing for the hobby? We'll tell you next on Cards on the Table. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another episode of Cards on the Table, our fast-paced talk show where we debate important topics from around the world of sports cards. And joining me today, two illustrious members of my team. I'm going to start with you today, Doug, over here on my left, or your right out there. Welcome to the show, Doug.
Thank you. How was Vegas?
Vegas was great. I just got back from the Industry Summit in Vegas, so obviously we got a little bit to talk about today. It was great. Didn't get too much time on the tables.
That's all right.
But did a lot of networking, met a lot of great people from the hobby. So
Excellent.
That was awesome. And Teapot, welcome back to the show as well, sir.
Mr. Frequent Flyer Miles is back.
Woo, Mr. Frequent Flyer Miles is back. Past that million miler, baby. Past that million miler on Delta. So the big news that was supposed to happen at the Industry Summit was that Fanatics was supposed to get on stage and announce that they had acquired Panini. At least that's what you would have thought if you were listening to the rumors on other YouTube channels and Instagram accounts and everything like that. But it proved not to be true. And in fact, I've confirmed that there is no deal done right now between Fanatics and Panini. Even though I'm still optimistic it's going to happen, I still think it will probably happen soon. And I don't know that for certain, but I think it will still happen soon. But it wasn't ready to go this week, and that was disappointing. The Industry Summit is an event that brings in all these dealers from around the country, all these breakers from around the country, a lot of people that are in the business full time, and they were all hoping, anticipating, expecting this announcement to take place so that they had clarity about the future of distribution and the future of who is going to be making these sets and how they could get accounts with these companies. But now they've left Industry Summits and they are left with more questions than they have answers. Here's my question for you, gentlemen. Do we want Fanatics to push this deal over the finish line? Do we need them to buy Panini? Is this the best thing for the hobby, Doug?
That's an impossible question to answer, of course, but we do need some kind of change. Panini has been, in my mind, going downhill probably since 2018, 2019. I don't know the last time I've been excited or optimistic about a Panini release. I don't know the last time I felt good about one after it's happened. The quality control is worse every year. The print runs are going through the roof. We're adding unnecessary sets. So anything that can maybe change that up a little bit, I'm hoping it would be for the better. In my opinion, it can't be a lot worse. So yeah, I mean, I'm ready for something to happen that interjects a little bit of life into Panini or the Panini products in general.
Yeah. How about you? What are your thoughts, Teapot?
Yeah, I mean, there's some frustration, some of the things that Doug has said. I think that's on both sides of the fence with Panini Tops. In general, we're just looking for some refinement. This is what we've talked about a lot in the past. We hope that Fanatics brings some refinement. There's a tough balance between satiating market demand and not overdoing and overkilling everything. What I really don't want to see is the end of Prism, is the end of Optic, is the end of Select. I want to see those reborn. I want to see a renaissance of those products, and I want to see how they compete and stack up against Topps Chrome in the secondary marketplace. Like, what will the collector gravitate to when and if presented with Topps Chrome basketball, which is such a throwback, and Prism basketball or Optic basketball, which is to me a closer match to Chrome than Prism. And then I start to wonder if this does happen, what about all those secondary products, both within Topps, as well as something like we just saw Illusions basketball come out, which actually Panini did a really good job with in terms of design this year, in my opinion. It's a pretty cool product. But will those things fall off? Will we only have the cream of the crop, so to speak, if this does happen? I hope it happens. I'm excited to see it happen, and I really want to see that refinement and renaissance happen.
Kill off one product. So say this happens. Kill off one Panini product right now just to make room for some more top stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna be controversial and say Hoops Premium stock.
Okay.
Because I just don't understand making Hoops into a premium product like Prism with every parallel in existence. That one.
R.I.P. Hoops.
Donruss clearly, maybe. I don't love when they take a set like Hoops or Donruss and then they just start making like various more versions of it. I'm not a huge fan of that.
You ready for mine?
Sure.
Mosaic.
Really? You want to
Mosaic's
kill Mosaic?
done. Yeah. Mosaic was cool when it very first came out because it introduced Genesis and retail, which is a cool retail chase.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in the Choice product, like the Peacock chase, but the quality is terrible across the board. There's some of the worst checklists, least thought out checklists, and they just don't do well secondhand. Like the hobby doesn't seem to appreciate those products.
For me, Mosaic's actually a great kids product. Kids love Mosaic. They like the design.
They like the priced, not for kids.
They need to bring, in my opinion, they need to bring down the price of Mosaic, make Mosaic kind of an entry-level type product, price-wise. And I think it's a great product if it's an entry-level product. I think it's a lot more attractive than Hoops, for example, or something like that. But make it that level of product. Okay, in my opinion, this deal needs to get done, and it needs to get done soon because Fanatics has very grandiose, in my opinion, amazing plans to catapult the sports card hobby forward. But those plans are completely hamstrung if they only have baseball. They got to have basketball and football. We don't need to wait to 2026. Let's get this done to allow Fanatics to run. Real quick though, Doug, if the deal does happen soon and if Fanatics takes charge, one thing you're worried about, with Fanatics now having all the major sports licenses. Yeah,
I mean, I guess maybe a lack of competition as far as, Topps versus Panini is kind of a thing right now where you can kind of play against each other. But if they're kind of all under one brand, they might suffer all the same quality issues all under one umbrella, or there's a lot of different ways you can go with that. But I just think having one company that kind of oversees all of it, you're going to fall into a lot of the same patterns across the different brands and different sports.
One thing you're worried about?
I'm just going to say the same exact thing. It's either going to be all good or all a mess. And I think it's all good.
I'm optimistic about it. I wanted to get done. I'm ready for the bright new future, the world of Fanatics. Hopefully this deal gets across the finish line here.
But regardless, I think it would take time.
We'll see. It's going to take a lot of time.
Say the announcement happens today.
Yes.
They're going to have to get all the right people in place, all the right processes in place. We're not going to see an overnight change.
It's going to take a couple of years, I think, before everyone feels the full impact of it for sure. Awesome. By the way, shout out to Stand Up Displays, these beautiful little card stands on our table. Dan from Stand Up Displays was displaying at the Industry Summit, got a lot of interest in his products. You could check out all these awesome card stands he makes at standupdisplays.co. All right, guys, we're going to move to the next topic, and this is based on the Data Dive video that you did on the Market Movers YouTube channel this past weekend. It was an interesting one. It was Would You Rather? And you presented these comparisons between different cards and challenged the audience as to what they thought as to what they would rather have. Tell us a little more about what you did there.
Some of this is a little bit about like investment, speculation, and that type of thing. Some of it's more just about preference. Even if you're just collecting some of these players, what do you like? What do you gravitate to? We hear people say that a lot. And I think there can be times when what you buy, if it is a speculation or an investment, still is relative to what do you like of these. It's all about opportunity cost. And that's something I've done periodically. It doesn't matter what your budget is. It doesn't matter if you have seemingly unlimited budget or a very small budget. You're still making decisions on a regular basis of how you want to spend your money. So I looked at it as though, a bunch of Luka cards, which of these would you go with his like case hit short print versus a rookie card, two different ones. I went and looked at Tom Brady and said, would you rather have one big Brady for $15K or three $5,000 Bradys with some flexibility? And then one of the ones that I talked about and we can look at here is this Judge comparison. Obviously, congratulations to Aaron Judge for hitting 62. He did it. He's the AL leader. Lots of debate happening on Instagram if he's the actual all-time leader or not. But I went and looked at 4 different cards. The first one is his Heritage Real One Auto it's a rookie card, right? Heritage is a set that some people love, some people don't. The good news is the print runs on Heritage are relatively low, so you don't get as much, you can support it by that cult following. That's ultimately the one that I said, because I like that set, that's the one I would go with. But I compared it to a BGS 10 Pristine, no auto of his Bowman Prospect Refractor, as well as his Bowman Refractor Auto in a BGS 9. So you want the BGS 10 high grade or the BGS 9 with the auto, and then his 2017 Bowman Chrome Rookie Auto in a PSA 10. So you get a little bit of different variety. And it was interesting reading the comments and seeing what people, how they would make those decisions. But I'm curious about you guys too, and how do you do that?
And there's no right or wrong answer to this. This is the type of thing that collectors and investors face every single day when they're shopping for cards, right? It's like, am I better off with this one or am I better off with that one? There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. Some of it comes down to personal preference. Some of it comes down to eye appeal. Some of it comes down to collect what you like. Oftentimes, if I'm kind of stuck between two cards that I'm looking at, even from an investment standpoint, it's going to default to which one do I like more? Yeah. Which one would I rather have on display in my collection for the next several years or whatever that may be. How do you approach those decisions, Doug?
Before I get into this, I'll go ahead and end all of the internet debate right now. Judge is not the home run leader. He's 7th or whatever it is, right? So we can just end that. I mean, 62 is not 73. It's not anybody in between.
I like it. Stir up the comments.
Yeah. Bring back steroids, by the way. Let's go ahead and do that as well. I want pitchers with heads as big as pumpkins. I want giant monsters at the plate. Baseball's boring, and that makes it more fun. So I say bring it back.
Man, let's give some comments now, Doug. All right.
But to get into the actual question here, there's a lot of different ways you approach it. It's completely subjective, but you're going to look at your budget. How much are you able to spend? You're going to look at scarcity versus demand in some of these cases. Me personally, does it look cool and can I afford it is kind of the way you're going. But are you collecting or investing is another angle that you have to approach as well. If you're collecting, a lot of this kind of goes out the window and you're going to buy what you like. But if you're investing in it, then you're going to have to look at patterns. You're going to jump on market movers and see if there's a gap between this short print insert or this rookie, or if there's a certain trend that one has taken but the other one has yet to take. That might be an opportunity there. So many different ways to approach this, and it just depends on so many different angles that you're coming from a budgetary standpoint, what your goals are, what you like. So it's impossible to give you a straight answer on this. I always tend to go for the eye appeal card personally, but if I know it's an investment that I'm going to sell at some point, it's going to be strictly database, and I don't want to buy a card that I love so much that I have a hard time selling it or letting it go. So,
I will say this one point. One of your comparisons, I think you were comparing a Luka Downtown, a short print, to one of his serial numbered rookie cards.
Yes, the Donruss yellow laser to 25, I think. Yep.
I am concerned, hopefully Fanatics gets a hold of this, but I'm concerned with how Panini has been making some changes to the print runs of their inserts. So while we revere a Downtown as this very nice short print, and it will forever have been that in 2018, what happens in 2023 if there's a Downtown in every other pack?
Yeah, I did a video on that exact.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I went with the Downtown is because it was out of 1-in-1.
Right.
Yeah. And there's only probably 50 of those in existence.
Yeah.
It's like they made another wave of short prints of those. But yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying.
But in a decade, you're going to be arguing with some kids saying, this used to be rare. Listen to me.
That's what I'm worried about. Didn't they all of a sudden make Color Blast, what was in their baseball product? Color Blasts are now everywhere?
One of the ones, recently that we saw. Stained glass.
Stained glass, not Color Blast. Stained glass is now everywhere in one of their baseball products.
Yeah, so yeah.
You see, that kind of stuff is not good over time when people try to go back. Anyway, all right, we got to take a quick break. I want to show you this, guys. We're so excited about the progress we've made with Market Movers X. Take a look. Guys, Market Movers X is so damn cool. Go check it out right now if you haven't already. Go to sportscardinvestor.com and click on Market Movers in the main menu bar. Okay, we've got some important mailbag topics today, topics suggested by the audience. The first is around graded magazines, and specifically graded Sports Illustrated magazines. Now, this is a timely topic for me because this summer when I was in Los Angeles, I actually met with a guy, Adam Rea, who is a producer of TV shows out there. He's a producer on Dancing with the Stars. And he also on the side is a dealer of graded sports magazines. He's got Sports Illustrated, he's got Slam, he's been doing this for a while, one of kind of the original people in the field. And the history of this doesn't go back very long. He hasn't been doing it for too long, but he's one of the big guys out there that's got a lot of these magazines now. There's actually an Instagram reel on my Instagram that, we're showcasing some of these I think went out on Instagram a few weeks ago. But this seems to be gaining popularity. Obviously, graded comics gained a lot of popularity in the last couple of years. What is your take on graded sports magazines?
I love it. For the past year, I've been doing graded comics pretty regularly. We got some on display back here. We've got a nice Beckett, first Beckett, slabbed right back there. I love it. It's the same as slabbing a card. You're displaying artwork. You're capturing an iconic moment in sports or an iconic cover. Especially pre-internet, we had no things like Tops Now or Panini Instant where we captured these iconic moments in sports, but these covers did. There's a Sports Illustrated that's Tyson, the Kid Dynamite cover that I absolutely love, and I would love to grab a graded copy of. But it's just a way to capture an iconic moment. I've got Sports Illustrateds from every Kentucky national championship in basketball going from the 70s, and they're all autographed by the cover athlete. I don't have any of the slab, but I would love to. It's the same as displaying a signed jersey or a slabbed card. This falls right in line with all of that, and I'm here for it.
Are you here for it, Teapot?
It's not something I see myself getting into anytime soon. Not that I don't think it's cool. I'm interested in almost every sport, all the cardboard. It's a reason why I haven't gotten into other memorabilia and Funko Pops and everything else. It's just I'm too consumed by the cardboard. But I do think it's an interesting concept. The thing about the magazines to me is they're really display pieces that do convey and tell a story about a moment in time in history very specifically. You can take a basketball card, somebody's rookie card, and go, here it is, but it's not, to Doug's point, it's not a Tops Now moment. Very rarely is it game dated. Very rarely is it celebrating something specific, whereas every magazine cover that you see, it's doing exactly that, and you've got that memory. And correct me if I'm wrong, Doug, but somebody was telling me too, you get a digital scan of the comics when you submit it, because that was always my thing, is it has pages. It's not like a card with two sides. You're supposed to read it and open it, and then you can't do it once it's sealed. But I think you get a digital copy or something.
Yeah, and we're obviously in a world right now where print media isn't, so alive and well compared to digital media. You're going to find these things online regardless. You might have to pay some sort of one-time fee or subscription fee to access all of it. But for people that are worried about actually reading it, I don't want to read a 1976 Sports Illustrated. I want to just look at that cover of Jack Goose Givens, scoring on Duke and winning the national championship.
Yeah. It's, to me, I totally agree with what both of you said. It's about the display. It's about the art. And having a wall of graded magazines is actually more striking in many ways than having a wall of cards, because the images are just a bit bigger, they're more clear to see, they are the moment in time a little bit more than cards are.
Yeah.
So I really like it. I think it's cool. I have not yet bought any, but I think it's cool. And when I met with Adam this summer, it was something that instantly interested me. It's a market that I do want to watch. It's a market that I want to get into Market Movers X. Can we do that, Teapot? Can we start tracking graded magazines in Market Movers X in the future?
Let's see.
Probably next year, right? Probably next year, but maybe next year. Not right now, but soon. That's our vision, obviously, with Market Movers X, is to add more and more of all types of collectibles in there over the course of time. Anyway, thanks for the question on that front. We've got another good one. Guys, the NBA preseason just started. What are the storylines you guys are watching? Basketball is here. What's on your mind, and how could this affect the card market for this season, Teapot?
Well, so parity is here to stay
Yeah.
in the NBA. And this is something that I was talking about with friends 5, 6, 10 years ago. You could see the players in college getting better and better. And really the big thing is the emergence of more and more international phenoms that are really good. Among those right now is Victor Wembanyama, who's tearing it up for the Ignite. And that guy's, we saw Zion Mania. Mm-hmm. If we see an announcement from Fanatics and Panini and we see these products coming out with him, that stuff's going to come out expensive. I'm really excited about that parity because it just makes so much, it's interesting. When it was that run with the Warriors dynasty, it was you knew it was a foregone conclusion. Warriors, LeBron. Maybe someone's got an outside shot, KD or somebody when he's not on the Warriors. Now you literally have no idea going into the year who's going to make it to the finals. I'm particularly interested in the Gobert to the Wolves situation. And I look at that and I'm like, I thought that was a big win for the Wolves. And I thought they got him for a pretty good price. Then I'm looking on the internet and there are people saying that they got fleeced. I don't think people appreciate or understand how good Gobert is and what a game changer he is in a league where big men aren't always like the biggest contributors like him. He's a force. You can't get into the middle with him there. The other one is obviously Donovan Mitchell to the Cavs. Yeah. But that's so interesting because looking at the East, last year where they finished 7th or 8th in the East, there's still a ton of competition. I think Miami's going to come down a few rungs this year. I don't know about Boston with the coaching drama and situation. The Bucks should be really good, but it's all up to their role players and Giannis staying healthy. Philly's probably staying neutral somewhere 3-4 range. And then you get Raptors. The Bulls are going to be first after signing Drummond. You've got the Nets. You've got the Pistons making moves who are probably going to be second. And then somewhere after that is the Cavs. So, I don't know. It's all really exciting to me.
Yeah, what do you have your eye on, Doug?
Well, I have my eye on Teapot being wrong, per usual. Obviously, it's going to be the Hawks coming out of the East. They got DeJounte Murray.
They do. We got some new excitement in Atlanta here.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that. But you also stole my main talking point, which was I was going to ignore this question completely. I was going to not look at this NBA offseason and focus on Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. Two guys that aren't going to be in the NBA next year, but are going to have a lot of headlines. Victor Wembanyama is going to be the most hyped prospect since LeBron, if he's not already. He's 7'3", 7'4". He just shot 7 from 11 from 3.
I saw that.
He's got handles. Yeah. There's not much he can't do. He can defend. But if we want something to look at this offseason, it's got to be that Zion lost some weight.
That's what I was going to say.
Zion looks amazing.
Yes. How do we wait till the buzzer goes off to mention that? And the Pelicans are legit as well.
The Pelicans are legit. 2019 NBA class is looking pretty solid right now. And if we get Zion to kind of raise it back up, everybody else kind of goes with it.
Totally
so you're going to
agree.
look at guys like Garland and Hero and Ja, Jordan Poole. You're going to see all of these names start to lift a little bit when Zion starts carrying them.
And I hope that Gobert really does help the Timberwolves the way that you said, because then Anthony Edwards, obviously, that's going to really help those products
Towns too.
well.
Maybe he'll finally get some hobby.
These guys to get out of the way. You've got two trees in an NBA that doesn't really support that. We got to get those guys out of the way and give Ant some room to run.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Who are you guys looking forward to this season in the NBA? And from a basketball card perspective, let us know in the comments below. And also let us know what topics you'd like us to talk about next week. Leave a topic in the comments below. Hit that like, guys. Hit that subscribe. We appreciate you watching. Check out Market Movers X. And we'll see you again soon with our next one. Take care.